you beautiful, awesome people, and welcome back to another day of the First Impression Marathon. And today we are looking at Layton's Mystery Journey, Katrielle, and the Millionaires Conspiracy Deluxe Edition. Oh my lord, that was a mouthful indeed. Anyways, this is from the wonderful developers of Level 5, one of my favourite developers of all time. I've said this before and I'll say it again, I absolutely adore the work that Level 5 puts out, and as soon as I saw Level 5 come up on the opening screen, I was like, oh! Don't even know what that noise was meant to be, but I was meant to be like, hallelujah, hallelujah. As I said, not even sure what that noise even came out of my mouth was meant to be. But yeah, no, I was just extremely excited. So this should be a good game. I have had experience with Professor Layton games. The last game I had experience with was the 3DS game, Professor Layton and the Curious Village, I do believe it was called. So it's gonna involve me to put my thinking cap on, or lack of thinking cap on, because I am terrible at these games. I'm a very slow person when it comes to these particular games, even though puzzles are something that I enjoy immensely, but when it comes to riddles, that's a different can of worms, because I'm dreadful at that type of thing. So, you guys get the chance to laugh at me. Almost, I would imagine you're gonna laugh at me and be like, KrimZen, what are you doing? The answer's right in front of your face! You're a numbskull! Which, yeah, I am. As I said, this type of game, it does take me a little while to get my head around. If anything, I should also mention too that the 3DS game may have actually belonged to my mum, and she was a lot better at the game than I was, and I just took it to kind of have a bit of a test drive myself, and I realised I was really bad at it, you know, that type of thing. I'd have to put that little disclaimer there to say, yeah, no, I am really bad at these games. So yeah, if you have played Layton's Mystery Journey, I'd like to hear what your thoughts are of the game down in the comment section below. And if you haven't played Layton's Mystery Journey or anything of Professor Layton inspired, I'd like to hear what your thoughts are on this game after you watch this video, whether you think it'd be a game you'd be interested in, or even just as a series in general, would you be interested in playing Professor Layton? And Professor Layton himself has even had a crossover with Ace Attorney, which is another series I actually do need to jump into and have a try, because I've never played Ace Attorney, and it's been one of those to-play type of games. So hopefully there's a game I can try for Ace Attorney and get into that. Maybe people can suggest a game for me to try, or maybe even first impression on if there is a Switch version for Ace Attorney. Alright, so another thing to be looking out for is if this can be a series for me to play, or even a Twitch series to play, although the only problem with Twitch is people might try and give away the answer, which kind of spoils the whole thing, so maybe more of a series thing. Anyways, let's press a button to begin with. Let's have a look at... Oh, okay, so it's just select language, volume, and instruction manual. I don't... Oh, okay, I was just like, if it goes to eShop, then I don't particularly want to look at that, but... I would imagine wow, there's a lot of things to look at. I'm assuming that's just there, like, if you get stuck or just go away from the game for a little while, but lack of settings is kind of a problem, because the thing I have, put out a bit of an appraisal for is for, like, Ubisoft putting in color blindness options. People would, like, can't see certain colors and all that. Having options there is extremely handy, especially if there's points of the game where you go look at certain colors. So just lack of controls there is a bit of an issue. Volume, what is there? There's not even volumes for, like, certain types of sound systems, so I don't even think what you can call that. Music control or something like that. It's like headphones, surround sound, stereo, mono, those type of things, that lack of things, so a little bit disappointing there. So lack of settings is the first thing I'll critique for. I know it's a very minor thing, but as I said, can mean a big difference between player to player if they've got special needs for visual aids. Subtitles is another thing I like. If there's cutscenes, I do like subtitles popping up so I can kind of read things. And it also does help me kind of absorb dialogue a little bit easier. But yeah, only minor picks. Enter a name to be recorded. Alright, so let's just start the game and see what it's like. It should be good, because the last Professor Layton game I played, even though I am not very good at the games, I will admit, it still was pretty good to play. Alright, let's kick it off. Let's see how bad I am. The story and characters in the game are entirely fictional and resembles to real play. That's a lot of things. Uses console's eternal clock. My god, could they have made that a little bit slower, please? I could barely read that. Again, just me being slow reading, I guess. I got the gist of what they were saying. Alright, so we open off with a cutscene. This is where I said subtitles would be nice.
Daddy? Where are you going? Daddy? Daddy,
I think in this one too, we actually don't follow Professor Layton this time. I think we're looking for Professor Layton from what I read for the blurb of this game, which would be kind of interesting. Really? How can one do that? As soon as I wake up and I see any type of sun, I'm like, oh, I feel dead. Shut the blinds. Oh. And yet you just see these people whip open the blinds, be like, hello, world. I'm not a morning person either, so that could be another thing too. Alright, so we get a bit of time lapse of her day. I guess it's just character build up at this point. Or again, going for a bit of that anime feel, which again, I don't mind. It kind of...
Today's the day. My journey as a detective starts here.
Yeah, a bit of a build up to what's going on. And it's a good way of like opening up a game too, instead of just having text. They animate it, it goes by quicker, it catches the player's attention and retains that attention too. So yeah, I can get on board with this. As long as I don't get copyrighted, of course. So if I get copyrighted, there may not be any music. Opening theme, Girls. It sounds really nice, actually. I quite like the music. Why are they going off and blurring Professor Layton's face? That's another thing I'm not too sure about, because Professor Layton has been a huge figure point in the series, unless, of course, they're trying to make this as a reboot in a way and...
Dear Lucy.
And trying to open it up for more newer players.
On one of London's most happening streets. Any mystery solved. That's the Layton Detective Agency's motto. I can't wait to find out what mysteries are waiting for me.
And what mysteries shall that be?
Visit me if you have the time. Yours faithfully, Katrielle.
Katrielle. Oh, that's how you pronounce her name. I probably said it wrong. Prologue, Lady and a Tramp. It's not Lady and the Tramp, it's Lady and a Tramp. Okay, interesting. Opening? Alright, still got the cutscenes going.
Phew. There, all done.
Hey, you there!
What the? I was expecting that dog to go woof, not talk.
Who said that? Was it you?
Can you really solve any mystery?
Oh, a talking dog.
You're not surprised?
It's only talking.
Only talking?
Only talking? I'd fall over if Asta started talking to me, which is my dog.
Proof. Can you really solve any mystery? Seeing you hang that sign gives me an idea. Let's see you try your paw at this puzzle.
Alright, so we get a puzzle from a talking dog. This could go really well. This puzzle is worth 20 picarats? Total score 0 picarats. Care for a cake. Alright, care for a cake. The letter K has fallen down from the sign above the cake shop. Use the 3 triangles to make the letter K inside the box. Place the triangle over place a triangle over a hand, apparently. Yes! Spot on, 100 points there to my dyslexia. Sweet! I don't want dyslexia today for this particular game, because I need to read, so If you're dyslexic like me, this is why I'm pretty slow at the game. Alright, so place the hand over a triangle using the left stick and then pick up a triangle by holding down A. Once you've grabbed it, you can move it around with the left stick or rotate it with L and R. Press A to place the triangle in position. When the K is formed, the success message will be displayed automatically. Place the triangles carefully. Alright, so we gotta make a K. This shouldn't be too hard. I gotta hold it down. So, if we do that... Oh wait, wouldn't it be... It's like I did have something in mind. That wouldn't be it, because it's gotta be... No, that's not it. Like, it's gotta be... Huh. Hold on, what about... Oh, we've already opened it up, and I'm like, oh god, this is bad. Alright, so what have they done? Well, it almost would have to be that. Or am I overthinking this already? This is Prologue and I'm already having issues. Oh, wait. Wouldn't be that. Not that either. I have to be thinking about this wrong. Because, see, a K would have to go... I have to, like, imagine a K in my head. Why do I have to imagine a K in my head? Come on. I'm just trying to think, like, what way would I go to make a K? I'd have to do that. Not that way, not that. Okay, so... a K... Unless I do that... and go like that. I don't think this is right either. No, that's definitely not a K. Does that look like a K? No. Okay. I had to be like overthinking this. I was like looking at the picture thinking, that's my clue. Alright, so... I can't believe this. I'm already on the spot and I'm sweating so much. It's like, oh. Ah, God, I can't grab it. I can't... There we go. I grabbed it. See, I would imagine that you go off that way. Oh my God. There we go. I was like, grabbing that is really hard. And it can't be that way either. Like, you think the main part of the K would be the big one. And there's no hints either. I actually thought there might be a hint somewhere to kind of put you on like the right track. So something like that. Oh wait, hold on. So what if I did that? No, I don't think this is going to work either. Because, like, to have a K, you have to go up like that. I can do that. So if I did... Hold on. So if I did that, and then did that... that's kind of a K. So if I did... I don't think this is going to be it either. Yeah, that's not even going to fit. Ah. See, that's kind of going on to being a K. It's a very awkward K. Oh, what about menu? Oh, there is hints. I can spend hint coins. All triangles need to be rotated. Are you serious? I did that already. Place the big triangle right up against the right-hand edge. If there is a gap, you will not be able to correctly form the K. Place the big triangle right up against the right-hand edge of the box. If I don't do that, then I won't be able to form the K. Oh! Oh god, I think I just worked it out. I'm thinking about this all wrong. It's not the wood that forms the K. It's making the shape K. Like the background. Ah! Ah, dude, I overthought that. I was like, hold on, how do you make a K out of 3 triangles? I don't know if you can. And I'm like, oh. And when they said put the big triangle up against the right-hand side of the wall, I'm like, you idiot! I'm not making the K with the wood. I am making the background look like the K. See, I'm really slow with puzzles, and it makes you kind of like think outside the box, or you just overthink it, and then you're like, kiss, keep it simple, stupid. Oh, you did it. The sign is fixed and the shop is open again. Care for cake, anyone? The image didn't help either, because I was like, thinking about it, going, what exactly do they want me to do with this K? Because it doesn't look like the rest of them. But I guess if I did that, it'd be a little too easier. But it's Prologue. Come on. Pick rats are both a comedy you earn by completing puzzles and a measure of puzzle difficulty. The higher puzzle's pick rat value is, the harder that puzzle will be. In other words, I just failed a really easy puzzle I needed hints for. Each time you get a puzzle wrong, the available pick rats diminish. So think carefully before you answer. The special end of game save includes some bonuses, among which you find a top secret file. The more pick rats you amass while playing the game, the more earth-shattering revelations you'll find inside. Puzzle 101, care for a cake, has been added to the puzzle index. Alright, so do I get to do it again?
Alright, you seem to be up to scratch.
Thank you. Why don't you step inside?
Just let a strange dog inside your agency, yep. Then again, it's a talking dog, so it's not really an average dog, is it?
So, what can I do for you?
Look at me. It's obvious.
What?
I'm a talking dog.
Yes, I can see that,
And? All right then. And I have total amnesia.
I have also noticed too, there's another issue. The mouth movement does not match the vocals.
It might make more sense. I feel like I'm me, but not really me. I don't even know if I'm Pedigree.
Is that all?
No, that's not all. I want you to find out who I really am.
I don't know.
Oh, come on. I'm a talking dog.
Got anything else? A diabolical box that kills you? A letter from the future? A relic from an ancient civilization? Nothing like that?
Nothing.
Yeah, the mouth movement does not match the voice acting at all. That's... I don't know if they're matching up with Japanese originally, and then the dubbing is a little bit off, or what that is, or if it's my TV lagging. That could be another thing too, but I hope it's
Some can.
just my TV lagging. That's not actually an issue, because then that kind of throws me off a little bit.
That dog, it just spoke. Ooh.
And here's another rare someone who can hear you talk.
Who's this?
Apparently, he's my assistant. I told him I don't need help, but he won't listen.
Overly dogged. No one wants that.
What's all this about, Miss Layton?
This talking dog wants me to solve the mystery of who he is and where he comes from. So, we've had our first inquiry.
Incredible, miss. Such a fascinating case from day one. Your reputation obviously precedes you.
So, I don't believe you told me your name.
Ernest. Ernest
Not
Green,
your
miss.
name, you doofus!
That's just what he's like.
I see.
Have I said something wrong?
The dog's name, you doofus.
Anyway,
And he
I
said he
can't
had
even remember
amnesia,
my
so how
own
is he going to
name.
remember his own name?
well, do you remember anything else at all?
I've got a vague memory of a tower or something falling down, and then lightning flashing across the sky.
That's it.
Goodness, golly, not much to go on, is it?
Who asked you?
It certainly isn't. I've no other cases at the moment, so why not? I'll do what I can.
You will? Well, that's great.
Oh, but I must insist on my fee, even for man's best friend.
Oh, I'm not poor.
Oh, that was a pun.
Here's the paperwork then.
I hate puns.
Now, you'll need a name. How about Shirl?
Shell?
You said you can't remember your name. So, I
Shirl
thought of one
sounds
for
like
you
a
with
girl's
inspiration
name.
from the famous Sherlock Holmes. It really suits you.
Oh, that's splendid, sir. Being named after such a prestigious figure, I mean.
Like I said, who asked you anyway?
Look. Here. Shirl O.C. Combs. Shirl is a great name.
For a girl?
That's what I thought too.
Shirl.
I'm like, am I overthinking this
Shirley,
again? But
there's no
Shell
need to be
sounds
that
like
quick.
Shirley.
Cat, are you in?
Ah. Inspector Hastings.
Safe progress so far, why not? Alright, we done our save. Not much has happened besides a couple. Oh, we're gonna have text now. I was gonna say, not much has really happened. Inspector Hastings, whatever is the matter? You look positively beside yourself. You won't believe what's happened. Who is this loudmouth, long-nosed neck? He's got more collar than mine. This is Inspector Hastings, Shell, from Scotland Yard. Despite appearances, he actually is responsible for ensuring London's safety. What's that mutt doing here? Don't tell me you've gone and bought yourself a pet cat. A pet? A pet? Do I look like a pet? Don't answer that. It looks as though Inspector Hastings can't understand what you're saying, Shell. Of course he can't. Like I said, it's an exclusive club. Most people just hear woofs and barks. And yet in a straw poll of those present here, 2 of the 3 are in the club. Very exclusive. I can't help it if the super snitch here isn't one of the enlightened ones. What are you muttering about, Cat? Sorry, Inspector, to answer your question, no, Shell here isn't a pet. Rather, he's my very first client, the first to have signed on the dotted line and enlist my services. Well, strictly speaking, miss, he can't sign anything, of course. He's digitally impaired. An excellent observation, Ernest. Let me rephrase that, then. The first to have put his paw print on my paperwork. Is this some kind of wind-up? Well, anyway, we haven't got time to be discussing pets. I've got a case I need you on, Cat, and I need you on it right now. How intriguing. Why the urgency? And why do you need me in particular, Inspector? I can't read. What's going on? Because we all know you're the best. You've proved that when you helped me in the past. With your little grey cells on the case, we'll have it solved in no time, I think. Well, and probably. His confidence in you is inspiring, Cat. Don't you worry, Inspector. There's not a case in the world that Miss Layton couldn't crack. Any mystery solved. That's the Layton Detective Agency motto, you know. Well, let's hope you can put your money where your mouth is, because we need your help, and we can get on this one. Perhaps it's time you told us what has actually happened, Inspector. Well, it's hard to believe, to be honest. I mean, you're never expecting something like this to get nicked. Something's been stolen? A burglary case, is it? Of sorts, yeah, but not your average run-of-the-mill burglary. It affects everyone in London, in the whole of Britain. Gosh, really? Whatever could be so important? I think you better just come to the scene and I'll explain everything. That sounds like a very good idea. Lead the way. Hello? Isn't there a little matter we're forgetting here? What about figuring out my true identity? Oh, yes. Well, the trouble is, this new case just sounds a lot more interesting. Interesting? You decided which cases to investigate based on how interesting they are, do you? Exactly. I'm glad you understand. Well, pardon me for only being a talking dog. I really must try harder to be more interesting. Oh, now Shirley, don't be like that. Your case is important to us, but we're experiencing a high volume of inquiries at the present, and you've had one new inquiry. One. Never mind. Clearly the inspector here has his knickers in a twist about something. Let him jump the queue if he has to. Good, then that's settled then. Now let's get to the scene and start investigating. Where are we going, Inspector? Just down the road, as it happens. To Big Ben. Big Ben? The Elizabeth Tower, I presume? Not Burly Benjamin, who lives a few doors down, surely. Case 1, the hands that feeds. The hand that feeds, not the hands that feed. As I said, I can't read tonight. Not sure what's going on if that holiday feeling is still around. As I just came back from holiday, by the way, so I might still be in holiday mode. That could be a thing. Or I'm just tired still. Okay, we're at the... Wait, where's the small hand? Can nobody look at their clock, like their watch or their phone? Do we live in an era where there's no watches or phones? Or clocks in their clocks in your houses? Yeah, that might be a little bit hard for on the go. But surely people have watches. Good gracious, the hour hand is missing. Wait, the hour hand? I saw... No, it is the hour hand. My god, I am tired. Yep, I'm afraid so. It was reported to us this morning. So that's what this was all about. One of the hands from the clock tower has been stolen. Unbelievable, isn't it? We've got to catch the hooligan who did it and get the hand back quick smart. Oh, get the hand back quick smart. I'm so sorry, but I can't do this this British stuff because he's like, hooligan, and then I just immediately ignore the apostrophe for hand, and it's just like, dude, not good for dyslexic at all. But there are 4 clock faces on the Elizabeth Tower, aren't there? Even if this one hand is missing, the other 3 faces will still show the correct time. Oh, let me guess. The other 3 are incorrect. That's right, I mean, certainly, it may be a little inconvenient perhaps, but to describe this as affecting all of Britain, isn't that rather an exaggeration? Yeah, my better half said the same thing, but it's much worse than a bit of inconvenience not knowing the right time. The problem is, we're due a visit tomorrow from Ambassador Thruxtufutha. I probably butchered that really badly, and I'm not even going to try and correct that. Oh yes, I remember reading about it in the Times. It's the anniversary of the Treaty of Rome, isn't it? But what does that have to do with the Elizabeth Tower? The ambassador is going to be received at the venue in sight of the House of Parliament and Big Ben, and as a symbol of the timeless friendship and cooperation between our lands, they plan on giving him a present. I'm guessing it's giving him a present. A pendant model on the hands of Big Ben. Oh dear. Yeah, so you can only imagine that the conversation's going to turn to the subject of the clock tower at some point, and it's not going to look too clever if the very hands the pendant is modeled on have been half-inched by some low-life scoundrel the Met can't catch. Obviously, it's been plastered all over the foreign press as well. It's a bloomin' disgrace what it is. I see, so that's why you intend on tracking down the culprit and covering the missing hand before tomorrow's engagement. Exactly! We really need your help on this one, Kat. Of course, I'll do everything I can. Our national pride is at stake here, as you can see. Wow! Wow! Okay. Has my dyslexia really just gone on highball, or did I use up all my mental energy on that first puzzle? I really hope not. My god, I just can't read. Well, that's a relief. I was worried you turned me down. Obviously, Scotland Yard will be carrying on with its own investigations at the same time. It's all hands on deck. I've got officers scouring the area around the tower, so we can ask them if they've got any leads. Leave it to me, Inspector. We'll get started at once. Gosh, miss, it's so rousing when you take the bull by the horns like this. The bull by the horns. Okay, that's where my original sentence was going. I was like, no, let's not go down that route. Oh, no, wait a minute. What now? Well, as this is our first case since the establishment of the Layton Detective Agency, I better show you the ropes. Let me explain how I like to carry out my investigations. Oh yes, please do, Miss Layton. In investigation mode, the cursor on the screen changes to be a magnifying glass. Use the left stick to move the magnifying glass around and examine every inch of the scene. Excuse me, I had a bit of a hiccup there. Sometimes when you move the magnifying glass over a particular point, it will turn orange. When you identify a point of interest like that, press A to find out what's there. You can also use the directional buttons to quickly snap the magnifying glass between people and other areas of interest. You need to master both controls. So the left stick to move the magnifying glass around, or the directional buttons to choose an area of interest rapidly. Alright, I think I got the hang of that. Got the hang of licking her boots, yep. Sorry, I mean you're a fast learner, Pinstrips. So let's get straight down to business and start investigating. Let's start with the top of that lamppost, shall we? Use the left stick. The lamppost? Why the lamppost? You found a hint coin. Oh, okay. A hint coin. I'm gonna need that. Golly, a little coin dropped down. Look. Yes, that's a hint coin. They can buy you hints when you're solving puzzles, which I'm gonna need an awful lot of. Of course, like real money, once you spend them, they're gone. So only use them when you really need to. You'll find them hidden in all sorts of places, so leave no stone unturned. I see, so hint coins are shy little creatures, are they? Come on, cat, what are you dawdling there for, eh? The case, woman, the case. Now, Inspector, let's haste more speed. What? Let's haste more speed? Excuse me, that's redundant as all hell. Let's haste more speed? That's a contradiction. Investigations need to be carried out carefully, and above all, you must record everything at each step. Teaching grandma to suck eggs, aren't you? Let's just go over the most important items in my bag. Oh, come on. So we have select the bag icon in the bottom left corner of the screen to open up the bag menu, or just press X. Kat's journal, it contains all of my notes about the investigation so far. Very useful for recapping. To archive the case history, choose Save from the menu. That will make a record of the story so far. This is the puzzle index. Any puzzles we encounter are recorded in here, so you can tackle ones you've already completed again if the mood takes you. And there's a brand new puzzle in daily puzzles every single day. Oh, like brain training, that's nice. If you also delve into my wardrobe from time to time, I can pop into some different outfits. Blimey, you got enough in that bag of yours, Kat. Ever heard of tidying? Is this crazy idea where you actually get rid of stuff you don't need? Oh no, it's perfectly fine as it is. The trick with any handbag is to know where you find everything and what to use when. Good, that's covered the fundamentals of the investigation progress. Now the time to put theory into practice and investigate the clock tower. The clocks are awfully high off the ground though, aren't they? Then you must zoom in, Ernest. Zoom in, miss? How do you do that? Sometimes you may not notice the magnifying glass colour change to blue instead of orange while you're investigating. That indicates a place where you can zoom in and take a closer look. All you have to do is press A and everything will appear larger. Very natty. Well, it's extremely important to be thorough even when you're investigating, you see. So why don't you zoom in now and take a closer look at the clock face. So you can kind of see there's a little hand there. The minute hand is basically on the right thing, but the hour is gone. It's true, the shorthand really is missing. We've already established this. Ah, but of course the other clock faces all have both hands, yes. Yeah, the only one on the one side that the shorthand's been taken and the other three unaffected. Oh, so it's just one shorthand that we're looking for. Even a shorthand from one of the clocks on the Big Ben clock tower would be a very sizable object. Not something that would disappear easily. Obviously, we've searched all around the clock face as well as the base of the tower, but that's hands just disappeared into thin air. This is turning into a very interesting case indeed, kind of like the case where, what was it that disappeared? The giant pineapple or something like that here in Australia, just up and left. Someone actually managed to steal this massive monument of a piece of fruit, and I'm not sure if the case was ever solved. It was just like, why would you steal that? And how? It's what? So mind-boggling. It's... Yeah, I'm even trying to wrap my head around it now while I'm trying to explain it. It's just like, I can't fathom why someone would want a monumentous pineapple, and who exactly would want a massive pineapple if they were to sell it. What value does that have? I mean, besides it being a bit of like a town icon and all that, but besides that, it's just a massive pineapple. What can you do with a massive pineapple? That's not even edible, but yeah. A quarter of London doesn't know what time it is and you call it interesting? Do they not carry watches? Alright, now we know what we're dealing with. It's time we start investigating. We should start by stepping back and looking at the bigger picture again, so zoom out or press B. There's a lot of text and I don't like a lot of text. Where do we start, Miss Layton? Well, time is of the essence. We have to solve this before Ambassador Fuchs de Forfa arrives tomorrow. So let's begin by asking Inspector Hastings' team what they've learnt so far. That's right, why do the work yourself when you can get someone else to do it for you? Nonsense, Shell, we can't afford to duplicate effort, that's all. But, Shell, you asked someone else to do the work of finding out who you are. Doesn't that also apply to that? Like, when you put it that way, it's like, why do it yourself and may as well get someone else to do it? It can apply to like every single moment where you've asked someone for help. Just keep that in mind. Of course. Come along then, you two. No time to lose. Coming, miss. Alright, let's talk to Inspector Hastings. Inspector Hastings, can you summarise what you found out so far? Not a fat lot, really. There was a bobby on the beat here last night who confirmed nothing was amiss at 11:50. It wasn't until 6 this morning that we got a report from a stunned local who happened to glance at the clock. So about 6 hours and 10 minutes of a gap of not knowing when the hand disappeared. So it's any time during the night. We came to confirm the report straight away and we found it to be true. The hour hand was well and truly gone. So 11:50 last night the clock was fine, but by 6 this morning the hand was missing. So we're looking at a window of about 6 hours in which the crime was committed. That's about the size of it, yep. And wasn't there anybody else who looked at the clock tower in that 6... Seriously? Who looks at the clock at, 2 in the morning, 3 in the morning? Unless you're out and about in the town maybe, but I don't... Well, then again, it's London. I'm assuming there's always folks out in the town at some weird hours of the morning. I mean, I'm out at weird hours of the morning, and believe me, it's a horrible time to be out in the morning. And the only reason why I do that is because I want fresh air. It's stuffy, it's boring, and it's depressing sometimes being locked up inside when you're on night shift or night hours and all that. Sometimes I've got to be on for night shift because of my weird work hours, and it's just sometimes quieter to do work, graphic design at night too when you're doing LED light design. But yeah, if you want fresh air, and then you got the bloody goddamn cops chasing you everywhere when you know what you do, but no, you're just casually driving around. Yeah, I know how that comes off as a little bit suspicious in a way, but believe me, I just want fresh air, then I just go back home. And then I fall asleep just before the sun goes up, which is why I said I want a bit of fresh air. We're looking into that now. I've got officers asking locals if they saw anything. There must be someone who looked at the clock in all that time. No doubt if we went door to door we could find some witnesses, but we just don't have that kind of time. So we just have to manage with what we know already, you mean? Pretty much, and those hands are massive. It would have taken someone a fair old while to make off with that. That wasn't even a sentence. I'm so sorry for my stuttering there. That's for sure. You would need a helicopter or something. You would need to have a whole bunch of tools to dismantle it. This couldn't be a one-person job, that's for sure. 6 hours. 6-hour window. Fit the clue in the right place. I gotta hold down A. This would go down here. You found a clue, 6-hour window. Do I make the hand? Okay, as your investigation progresses, you'll unearth certain key pieces of information that form clues. Each case has 6 clues to uncover, and once you've found all 6, you'll be able to solve the case. Clues may arise from statements that appear to have nothing to do with anything. Can you use your sleuthing skills to piece it all together? If you want to look at the clues you've gathered so far, open Katrielle's bag and look at the current case file. When you need to refresh your memory about the case file is the place to look. So, 6-hour window. According to Inspector Hastings, the clock hand must have been stolen in the roughly 6-hour window between 11:50 PM last night and 6 AM this morning. Clues 1 to 6. I gotta press plus to continue. Alright, case files have been added to Kat's bag. Ah, so exciting to be investigating a case at last. What do we do first, miss? I would like to play! That's what I would like to do! We'll start by interviewing members of the public, Ernest. Gosh, that sounds like proper detective work. Let's find out if anyone around here has noticed what's wrong with the clock tower and if they might have useful information for us. There are rather a lot of passerbyers here, aren't there? How do we know who to ask? The more people we talk to, the better, so let's get started. When there is more than one place to investigate next, you'll see multiple magnifying glass icons display at the top right of the screen in investigative mode. There's gotta be an easier way to simplify all this text! Once you have examined one of these places, it'll be marked with a tick icon. So keep an eye on the magnifying glass icons and tick icons at the top right of the screen as you're hunting for clues. Oh my god, I can finally play! So we can use the... Okay, so that's the rapid. So there's only at the moment 3 people we can talk to. So we've already talked to Professor Hastings. So let's talk to this suspicious old man. Well, how long has it been, would you say? How long? I'm sorry, do we know each other? I'm fairly sure I've never met you before, sir. Know each other? In a way, yes, in a way, no. I think his scarf's too tight. People are like leaves washed along in a river, sometimes meeting, sometimes parting. You rather lost me, I'm afraid. I don't suppose you've noticed anything about the Elizabeth Tower last night, did you? I was already dreaming sweetly but not full yesterday. You're an early sleeper, aren't you? He's an old man, what do you expect? So you wouldn't have seen anything. Heh, is that all you wanted? I'll tell you what, how about a little puzzle to occupy the mind? I say, a puzzle? The world is full of puzzles, Ernest. Sometimes during the course of an investigation, people do come up with puzzles for you to solve. It's all part of the process. No, it's all about wasting time. So let's see what sort of puzzle we're dealing with here. Still, I'm up for a puzzle, I guess, if it gets this old ticker working. Puzzle 2, The Hands of Time, is worth 35 picarats. The clock is currently showing the time as 3:30 PM. It would be nice if the hands of the clock would show midnight. What would be the minimum number of places you would need to touch on the clock to show the desired time? Select the time frame displayed at the input screen for entering letters and numbers. After confirming, you'll see what you have written appear in the answer frame. To change your answer, simply select the answer frame again. As midnight. Am I allowed to go backwards? That's the question. So if I can go backwards, I will need to move it back 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So 9. If I can't go backwards, then I have to go forwards.
This should do it, I think.
Huh?
Not good, Katrielle, not good.
So I have to go forward. Bad luck. How to get the clock to show midnight? Can you think of a way? The clock is... what would be the number of places you need to touch on the clock to show the desired time? Well, normally it'd be 2, because you just moved 2. And it's only a 12-hour clock, too. 3... Oh, wait, no. Because if I go backwards, it's midday. So I need to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, which is 14. Wait, what? 1, 4. 14.
I've seen how to solve this now.
What?
Not good, Katrielle, not good.
Alright, type in 2 then. How to get the clock to show midnight? Can you show... If I can't... My pick rats are gone down again. Right, I'm gonna type in 2. So 0, 2. You only have to touch it twice to get to midnight.
This is an interesting one.
Yeah, I did think it'd be 2.
Katrielle, not good.
Alright, so what do I want me to look at? There is no need to touch the hands of the clock. Wait, what? There is no need to touch the hands of the clock, so you mean 0? There is no need to open the front or take the clock apart. Is it saying basically 0? I'm gonna just go, this is a time-related problem. Time will solve it. Wait. What? As in, like, do I have to change my... No, because it's 10:11 at the moment. If you simply wait without touching a clock, it'll... Are you serious? They want me to, like, change my system. So what, do you want me to... If I wait... I'm assuming they want me to change my system. Because if I wait... If you simply wait without touching the clock, time will gradually pass. It won't be long. I'm assuming it's just gonna be 0.
This is an interesting one. Any mystery or any puzzle solved.
But didn't they ask me to, like... I'm gonna look at that again. You did it. There's no need to touch the clock at all. You need to wait for midnight to come. Well, technically, yes. If the minimum amount would be 0. It's a frickin' riddle, isn't it? I'm sorry, but that one's like more thinking outside the box. And I suck at that. Well, yeah, you can wait, but, I didn't think they wanted me to type in 0. Yeah, you can see how much I suck at this. Very impressive. Let's hope you tackle all the puzzles you're going on to face so convincingly. No, I'm going to suck at this. The top of the morning to ya. Got a minute to answer a few questions? Alright. I'm investigating the extraordinary disappearance of the little land of the Big Ben, you see. So did either of you happen to see anything around these parts last night, such as, for instance, a person or persons transporting a large and like object? Gosh, and he gets straight to the point, doesn't he? He's asking the very questions I was about to ask him. Oh, where's my manners, eh? Sorry, I'm the Douglas Dirt. Everyone calls me Doug. I'm a reporter with the London Times, see? Are you readers at all? Oh, I say, personally I think the London Times is the best paper in the city. Aha, you're too kind, lad, although I do make it my mission to dig up the most dirtiest of dirt and uncover the most unsavoury of zoos. And at present, I mention aforementionedly, I am investigating the disappearance of Big Ben's hand. As it happens, we're investigating the same thing. Perhaps you might share anything you've learnt. Sorry, investigating, you say? Well, there's a turn up for the books. You don't look like detectives, I must say. If I'd had to guess, I'd have pegged you as a young couple out walking your lovely dog on this delightful morning. Well, I am a detective. Haven't you heard of the Layton Detective Agency? Layton? I know of the famous Professor Layton, of course, but I didn't realise he had an agency or people in his employ. Always nice to have signed up with a complete unknown. Really inspires confidence. Oh, what a blow. Mind you, I didn't really expect any different. Don't worry, Miss Layton, you'll be famous soon enough. I'm quite certain of that. Anyway, as it happens, I was at the office all evening yesterday, penning my latest article. I did not observe Big Ben at all, and I'm afraid to say that my own investigation is getting underway. I have nothing to impart at the present time. I see. Well, thank you anyway. I wish you all the very best with your ongoing investigative activities, of course. Likewise, sir. Good luck with yours. Hand hiccup for iconic Big Ben. Petty crime or intentional conspiracy. Alarm bells ring across Britain. Stories like these write themselves, eh? Gah, methinks it's gonna be a smasher. It certainly is. If we don't solve this before the story breaks, there'll be all kinds of repercussions. You're right, we must press on with our investigation. If you start talking and start investigating, we might actually get somewhere. We've investigated all we can around here. I suggest we head closer to the tower. To the scene of the crime at last. I say this is rather exciting. I need to explain how we move around during an investigation, don't I? At the bottom right of the screen in the investigation mode, you'll see a shoe button. Pressing that away switches from investigation mode to relocation mode. The orange flashing markers show points on the map where we can move to. Pick a location you'd like us to visit and press A over it to display some information about the place in question. Then simply press A a second time or press move to go ahead and move to that location. An exclamation mark at a particular place indicates that you should head there next, for the good of the investigation. It looks like we can get inside the Elizabeth Tower from that entrance there. So let's head over there and see what we can find out. I could finally play again! Alright, so we gotta go to Y, not X. Yes, 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 yes. Yes, yes. That's going over like handheld mode and all that. I am pressing all the wrong buttons today. Alright, over to the foot of the Elizabeth Tower. The entrance to the clock tower looks to be over there. Oh, the police officers seem to be examining something. Let's ask them what they found. So the police officers, that's a detective. There's two people I can talk to, isn't there? Oh, I can talk to the jogger. Let's talk to this man. Hello, Miss Layton. Inspector Hastings has instructed us to give your full cooperation. Wonderful, so I don't need to explain. Could you just tell us what you found out so far? I'd be glad to, miss. We have ascertained that on the night in question, that's been last night, there was no one here. No one at all? Not even a janitor or something? Correct. There is a room behind the large clock faces known as the clock room. Over there, over this room was, however, this room was locked overnight. How is the clock tower always empty overnight? Except for when works are ongoing. Yes, when the servicemen are in. They sometimes work late, apparently. But last night, the servicemen knocked off early, it seems. So there was no one around who might have seen the thief. Sorry not to have brought better news for you. Alright, what about the detective here? Hello, miss. Let me see. Oh yes, that's right, Miss Layton. Inspector Hastings mentioned you. Yes, here it is. You're assisting with our investigations, I see. So we're to share information and resources. Thank you, officer. That would be very helpful. Another on-the-ball detective it is. Yes, this is the DC Nick Booker, one of the Inspector Hastings' men. Nick Booker? Thrown into the profession, was he? Perhaps you'd be so kind as to tell us what you've learned about the case so far. Yes, well, according to our inquiries, it seems to be an outbreak of, of metal thief in the capital recently. Metal thief? Or theft? Yes. I think that's what it says here. Yes. Metal being stolen from factories and warehouses. Really? What on earth would anyone steal pieces of metal for? Some metals are valuable, Ernest, and thieves can sell scrap made from them for a high price. Yes, according to my notes here, the missing clock hand was made of, yes, here it is, a very valuable metal that would fetch a good price if sold. So we're counting along this line of investigation. I see, metal theft. Well, thank you for your help, DC Booker. Don't mention it, madam. I'm just doing what it says here in my notebook. Wait. That seems off. Why would he would already know what to do instead of following his notebook for a detective anyways. Something smells fishy there. So we know that one already, so we'll move on. Now we've spoken to the investigation officers, I think it's time we had a look inside the clock tower. But it's locked, isn't it? Should we talk to PC Bet, do you think? Excuse me, PC Beat. Would it be so good of you as to allow us to enter into the clock tower? Why, yes, of course, Inspector Hastings gave us the instructions to cooperate fully with you, Miss Layton. Step right in. Thank you. We'll all come in if we may. I must warn you, it's one long staircase when you get inside. I hope your leg muscles are working. Oh, yes. Right, so next up is the actual tower, but before we go any further, let's talk to this lady. 1, 2, 1, 2. Oh, hi there. Perfect weather for a run, isn't it? It must be a pleasant place for jogging here, with all the green space. Yes, I love it. I've done 50 laps already today. I wish I could do that many. I'm Gudrun, by the way. I've been running in cities all around the world. I just can't get enough. I like marathons and other events, but ordinary city streets are my favourite place to run. I just love exercising as I watch other people going about their business. I like doing puzzles to exercise my brain too, and to keep my mind off my aching muscles, I just come across a great one, actually. Try it. Alright, let's try this out. Hopefully my brain works. Puzzle 3, Bubble Blast. 40 pick rats. Shoot bubbles from the cannon to burst all the bubbles floating in the air. To pop bubbles, you need to form a chain linking bubbles of the same number horizontally and or vertically. The chain must contain at least as many bubbles as the number displayed on the bubbles in it. Press and hold A to pick a bubble and move it to an empty space. Ammo isn't replenished after each shot, but you need to burst all the bubbles within the maximum shot limit. To reposition an object in a new location, press and hold A over it and pick it up again and move it to where you'd like to be. Just release A to place it in a new location. In some puzzles, you can use L and R while you have A pressed down to rotate the object you're currently holding. The amount it will rotate varies from puzzle to puzzle. So I have to... In order to burst it, I need to have... So if I move... that... and then do... They don't move. I thought they were gonna move. They don't move. That kind of annoys me. Two, 3. Oh, wait. What's my maximum shot limit? Oh, I see it. 0. Is there a reset? Try again. Alright, so... what could be the easiest way to go about this? Well, first things first is that... okay, from there... I want to go... what do I want to get rid of? I don't think I wanted to get rid of that. I can't move these either. I got 5 more blues left. I think I've done this wrong. I'm gonna try this again. Okay, so there's gotta be something to like stop certain moves working. So if I go that, and that, do that, then bang. 4, 3, 2. There we go. Done.
This should do it, I think.
That's a bit more down my alley when it comes to like puzzles I'm good at. When it comes to riddles though, no, I am terrible at that. You did all the bulbs are popped. You don't, if you don't get the order right, you run out of shots, yes. It's like a set amount of things, but normally you can like reverse engineer that pretty easily. It just takes a couple of goes of like figuring out, alright, so if I don't do that, then that chain reaction doesn't happen, or that particular domino effect doesn't work, and then yeah, it kind of like presented itself like what I needed to do was everything was in kind of like a corner, and like kind of cause a domino effect. You get rid of one thing, and then you go and have a spot which you put another one in, then that corner, well the next layer of the corner goes, and just continuing on, and then from there it's just very easy to put the last little pieces together. Yes, that's it. Nice one. 1, 2, 1, 2. Which, yeah, 1, 2, 1, 2. Bang, 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 bang. Alright, I'm ready to push on. Beat the pain. Ha, good luck. I'm going to stay in London for a while, I think. There are lots of places around the city where I'd like to run. I want to make sure I see as much as I can while I'm here. Maybe I'll see you around sometime. Bye then. Alright, so now we have to go inside the clock room. Although, hold on. Is there anything around here that we haven't looked at, like for hint coins? There we go, there's a hint coin. Unfortunately though, it won't lock onto hint coins, so you're forced to wait. Apparently the style of architecture is called Gothic Revival. I don't think you can gain entry to the tower from the inside the palace. There's another hint coin to make up for all the amount that I've lost so far. I think we're pretty good. Like, if you can do a quick scan and then see where the magnifying glass, not that button. I think you only have a max too, because it said hint coins 6 of 13. The housing of the great clock mechanisms in the Elizabeth Tower. Oh god, we're already over an hour. Bloody hell. That's me being silly slow with my puzzles. Ha! Ha! Golly! Ha! What a... Ha! Lot of stairs. My feet are... killing me. Ernest. Greaves. Said you should be... ashamed of yourself getting... tired out so... easily. You should pant... harder than he is. Oh look. It's spectacular. I've never seen the internals of a clock tower before. Magnificent. Being inside such a huge and important landmark like this is rather splendid, isn't it? The clock face and the cogs are so enormous. Yes, it's quite exciting being allowed inside a place that's off limits for most people. Alright, you two, get over yourselves. Ah, I've just remembered something I forgot to mention before. Oh no. Oh, what's that? Sometimes when you're investigating, you've come across something unexpected. Unexpected, miss? Yes, as you're moving the magnifying glass around, you might notice a peculiar disturbance in some places, like a puff of dust almost. When that happens, be sure to investigate thoroughly, even if the magnifying glass hasn't turned orange. Look hard enough and you should be sure to be rewarded. So make sure you investigate all those nooks and crannies carefully. Let's give it a try. Right there. You've discovered a reddish wrist watch. It's been added to your collection. They do have watches, so what's the big fuss? A collection box has been added to Katrielle's bag. There you can pursue items that you found during the course of your investigations. The items are unrelated to any particular case, so they're just for fun, so enjoy them at your leisure. You never know what you might find while you're hunting for clues, so leave no stone unturned, Ernest. Not one, Miss Layton. Very good, so let's get back to the task at hand. Ah, I think perhaps there's a serviceman over there, look. Oh yes, you're right. Let's go and ask him if he has any useful information for us. Seriously, if there was like an item left at the scene of the crime, wouldn't you use that as part of like evidence? Anyways, a hint coin I will take. What enormous cogwheels? I suppose they're necessary to drive the huge clock hands. The mechanism is vast as well, isn't it? And it keeps ticking despite being one hand down. It's lucky there are 3 other clock faces showing the correct time. The people of London rely on Big Ben to know the time. Did we really need that big dialogue? The clock mechanism seems to be working fine. Both hands present and clock correct on this face at least. That would be a good puzzle, wouldn't it? I'm a face, but I have no eyes, no ears, and no mouth. I do have hands, however, what am I? As it happens though, there's a different puzzle here. Look, do you want to try it? Well, I am the personal assistant of the great detective Miss Katrielle Layton, so I ought to tackle a puzzle or two from time to time. Alright, I just found another puzzle. Time to embarrass myself. Puzzle 4, House of Hanno. Oh, wait, is this like Hanno stones? I love these type of puzzles! A new design of house allows you to rearrange the floors however you like, just selecting a building to hoist off topmost floor with a crane and move it to another plot of land. Your task is to make all the houses look as they appear on the plans. However, houses can only have up to 4 floors max. I love these puzzles! Now, I wanted to go looking like that. The Tower of Hanno, I think it's called. Like, you use stones and you move it so transport like a tower of stones to the other side of the board. They are so fun to play, and it tends to be like a little pattern that you tend to do in order to solve these. Alright, so what I want to do, I can only go from the top, alright. So what I need to do is I need to move that over to there. So if I move that there, oh yeah, it can only have a max of 4. And move that there. Move that there. Move that there. And then move that there. And I don't have a max moves. I was going to say if I do, then that really sucks. I have done these particular puzzles with like max movement. Oh, this is actually kind of bad. Uh-oh. Alright, so when that happens, I need to kind of solve both at the same time. I'm just going to reset these because I just realized I can't do it like that. This might present a bit of a problem too. I actually had this right the first time and I just went and screwed it up, didn't I? I had this right the first time. Why didn't I just keep it like that? No, I did that. Now, excuse me while I just forget what I did. I just used like way too many moves then, it's alright. Right, then I move that. Then I move that. Then I move that. No I don't, I move that there. I move that there. Then I move that there. That. Put that there. Put that there. I could have done this a lot less moves, but yeah, that's the solution.
If you'll entertain my idea here.
Puzzle solved.
That's a relief.
Probably couldn't, as I said, a lot less moves. Because I screwed the first one up badly. But yeah, we got it. Both houses look spot on. They're actually really fun puzzles to solve. They really get the brain tickling sometimes, like really tickle the brain. As I said, I've enjoyed those puzzles ever since I was in high school. They're just, I don't know what it is about them, but I just love solving them. And I've had like a couple of puzzles where you've got to move like huge amount of towers to the other side of the board. When I saw like Hanoi, I can't pronounce it. It's A very old traditional puzzle indeed, but I know when I saw that word I was like, oh, I know what puzzle this is, and I'm so excited to do it. I was like, yes, a puzzle I'm actually really good at. Good work, Pinstrips. You're clawing back some respect here. Why, thank you, Shell. While merely a personal assistant to Miss Layton, I do hope to prove myself useful in the puzzle-solving department. I really don't remember saying I wanted a personal assistant. Oh dear, miss, please don't reject me. Alright, so we did that. Time to have a bit of a bit more. I did see something. There's another hint coin. I haven't needed to use a hint the last couple of puzzles, which is really good. The clock faces are so vast, it's really rather strange seeing them from the inside. But apart from the missing hand, there doesn't appear to be anything out of the ordinary. So we've investigated 2, hold on. There's more machinery underneath us too. It's like I'm going way too fast for my own good here. This is kind of handy to play with the sound on, or at least headphones. Don't get your paws caught in the mesh floor, Shell. We're safe though, Ernest. Because you can kind of hear when the magnifying glass turns a different colour when you're going through and scanning, so if your eyes don't pick it up, your ears should at least pick it up. I think we're all good for coins. I think that's because I rolled over that. Yeah, we're good. Hi, what are you doing inside? No entry to public. That's alright, I'm from the Layton Detective Agency. The police have given us permission to investigate here. You're a serviceman for the Great Clock, I take it? No, yes, I'm Hans Lipsky. If this is for the missing hand, I already said to police everything I know. You people are drilling hole in my belly. Well, I'm sorry to ask you to repeat yourself, but would you mind telling us what you told the police, Mr. Lipsky? Lipsky can lip ski? For peek's sake, stop with the puns! He can't help his name, Cyril. Shell. What'd I say? I can't repeat what I just said, wow. There is nothing for telling. When Hand went missing, I was already at my home. I don't know anything. I don't know nothing. I don't know anything. You went home early yesterday, I understand? Day before, I was working until after midnight, fixing this clock, so yesterday I go home early. Day before I was working until midnight, so yesterday I go home early. No, that makes sense. Was there anything unusual about the hand that was taken? It wasn't loose or misaligned or anything? No, I fixed it only 2 days ago, like I tell you. Then I put it back, I make sure it was good fixed on. I see. So there's no chance that the hand dropped off then, slipped out of your hands perhaps. Police already investigated everything in here, around Clock Face, but they found nothing and they have gone now. Yes, tell me, Mr. Lipsky, when did you notice that the hand was missing? Same time like everyone else, when I looked out the window in the morning, I see missing hand. Oh, so that you were living is in sight of the clock tower, and in sight of the face with the missing hand I see. No, yes, I am living close to here, on Chancellor Lane. Gosh, how extraordinary, the same street that the agency is on. It's strange that we didn't notice the hand was missing ourselves. Exactly, I'm sure I never seen it when I looked at the clock tower this morning. Because you were looking at a different face, it depends on where you were living. Wait, what? Recently repaired our hand is down here. You recently found a clue. Layton repaired our hand. But I thought he said down the same street as the agency, so how would we not see it? But he did. Unless different angle? Really, apart from the missing hour hand, nothing seems to be out of place. Golly, there's no clues at all. I would have to expected to see some trace of the crime. After all, it's such a large object to make off with. We need more information. Let's go back down to the ground. There's something I'd like to ask Inspector Hastings. I knew this would come. The descent. It's already time for you. It's alright for you, but I'm taking my life in my paws climbing down those stairs. Ah yes, with your short little legs. Get off. Now, Shell, it's safer this way. Ernest will carry you down, won't you, Ernest? I will? Hey, why did you pull that face for? I haven't got fleas, you know. I didn't pull a face. Come along, no arguing. Just tread carefully, Ernest. Yes, miss. You did want to be my assistant, after all. Daily bonus, you've earned some fashion farthings. Fashion farthings? What's that? Once per day, you can obtain fashion farthings via the daily bonus. You can use fashion farthings you've saved up in the wardrobe section of Cat's bag to purchase outfits. Be careful of changing your Nintendo Switch console system time, however, because you won't be able to obtain the daily bonus for a short while if you do. Oh, thankfully a game that actually punishes you for changing the time. Like the 3DS used to. My god, those were the days. That's why you don't change your time. You might also uncover fashion farthings during the course of your investigation around London, so keep your eyes peeled. So many things I can find! But anyways, I think that might do it, because if I go any further, we might be going for like longer than I was expecting. But yes, so far, dialogue, well then again, it is a kind of one of those investigation games, point and click games. They tend to be dialogue heavy, but a lot of that tutorial stuff, I do wonder if there was a way of shortening all that down so it wasn't as dialogue heavy. I mean, for the investigation part, okay, there needs to be a lot of dialogue. You need to actually talk to people, so yeah, it's like it would be in real life solving a crime. You need to talk to people to find the evidence. Another thing I did not like, obviously, as I said, I do hope it was just down to a little bit of visual delay on my end, but I've had that with no other games, so I think it might be during the cutscenes when the voice actor or the character was talking, the mouth movement was not lining up. I know it's minor, but it is a little bit distracting for me. It's annoying. As someone who's like kind of used to it anyways, when I watch Netflix, that tends to happen quite a bit because really bad internet and all. I can't watch it. Like, it gets to a point of too much desync and audio drift. It's just like, nah, I can't do it. I can't watch this. Goodbye. And plus, it also triggers me a little bit as someone who's had to deal with audio drift before in editing, and it's just, no, I hate this because I've got to fix all the issues. So don't worry if there's ever any audio desync in my videos. Trust me, I'm on the other end screaming, swearing, and God knows what else I'm doing, and just smashing my head into a wall probably because I hate it the most. And if it happens, it's like, dude, God damn it, what did I do wrong? Anyways, that's a little bit of a rant. As I said, it's a minor thing, but it's something I really don't like either. Options. Lack of options is also a bit of a pain in the ass. I do have a bit of standards when it comes to options in games. Things like audio system options for, like, as I said, going through headphones, surround sound, stereo. Those type of things I do kind of expect because in current day, a lot of people have different things like whether it be gaming with headphones or whatnot. As I said, I'm actually playing with headphones, but I do use like a surround sound setup as well. So I do have like certain games I'll have surround sound set up instead of stereo. Other times I'll have headphones. It just makes things sound a little bit nicer. But again, that might be a minor nitpick. No colorblind options either. Again, it's not minor because that doesn't really affect me, but it does affect some people who do have colorblind things, so I do kind of like open that up and like, okay, that is a bit of an issue since I have seen other games do that, which I do applaud when that does happen too. Other than that, it's kind of what you expect from a point-and-click adventure game. You click on things, then you solve things. The puzzles seem quite varied. Some expect you to do very straightforward things, others expect you to think outside the box, others do traditional puzzles which are a bit more easier at times, unless of course you have never seen a traditional puzzle, then it might make it a little bit harder. So it's a lot of varied puzzles too, and with the pick rats too, it kind of makes it easier to understand difficulty and all that, which I think the Professor Layton series has done for a very long time now. And as I said, because of the way that they set up with like riddles and they kind of expect you to keep things simple thinking, it's a game that I'm very weak at because I kind of like thinking outside the box an awful lot, or a lot of hands-on puzzles like Rubik's Cubes, a lot of the, what do they call it? I have it in my drawer and I can't think of it. A lot of wooden puzzles, the puzzles where you gotta deassemble things and reassemble them. Those type of puzzles, I really enjoy those particular puzzles. A lot of hands-on, I guess, puzzles. And then when it comes to thinking, because I love to overthink everything, I don't know why, it's just my way of thinking, or someone who likes to redo puzzles an awful lot. Yeah, it's can sometimes go over my head. Take example, the sign puzzle, I overthought that again. The clock puzzle, overthought that a lot because I was thinking, hey, they want me to manually change it, and then not thinking, oh, the minimum 0 because I just wait for it to be midnight. So simple things like that just go over my head, but it doesn't put any negatives on the game. That's just a me thing, not the game thing. Other than that, yeah, as I said, a lot of them were kind of me opinions, but music, it's not over-drowning or anything. Visuals are quite nice. It's kind of a level 5-ish type of style of visuals and all that. The animation's quite nice as well. And other than that, do I see myself doing a series on this? Yes. When I get past the embarrassing stage of, please stop making stupid mistakes. Yeah, I would see myself doing a series on this. Would I live stream this? I would, for people to laugh at me. And it also would be good, I guess, if I do get stuck, people can give me hints as long as I don't, you know, as I said, blurt straight out the answer. Just lead me on the right track in a way and just be like, alright, now think of it this way. You gotta think of it like this instead of thinking it like that. I mean, it probably would make a pretty good live stream. As I said, I just probably have to make it very strict. Don't blurt the actual answer out. Alright, so yeah, I'd like to hear what your thoughts are on the actual game if you haven't played this game before, or a Professor Layton game at all either. And would you play this game? Would you consider this game? For those of you who have played this game, feel free to laugh at me. I know I suck, and I did say at the beginning, I do suck at these games. So I do look forward to hearing what you guys definitely thought of the game if you have played this game. And until next time, this is Lady KrimZen saying, hope you stay beautiful, and ciao for now, but not forever. Ciao!